Hello listeners, this is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard.
Mata into a trap pass! What about that? Ivanovic!
In the middle, it's just behind him, but it's in by Higgins. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
Palmer, João Pedro, it's three, and Chelsea are running away with the FIFA Club World Cup final.
Hat-trick hero, Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
it's time for our winners and losers from our second pre-season game. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I am your host, Mike. I'm joined in a virtual room roaring with lions. It's the Mikey and Chris Monday show on a Monday, but featuring, he's made them pay. It's three of the best. He's fucked that up straight away. I'm going to have to do that again, even though the listeners are going to hear this. I'm going to leave it in. So I'm going to just pretend that didn't happen. Oh, three of the best. He's made them pay. And that completes a wonderful hat trick of shows for Tom. Oh, Tom. A hat trick of shows. Wow.
Oh, well, I'm just happy to be here. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Oh, man. Chris, you're here as well. Of course you are for the Monday show.
I am. It's more than my hat trick. I don't know what I'm on now.
You're on a lot.
I'm on a lot of appearances now.
You're on a lot of appearances. You've overtaken Berth, and he's that's cruel. You just superseded. I'm trying to think of a player that might have just come in under the radar and got Aspilicueta. I don't think many expected that many appearances from Cesar when we signed him, and then suddenly we're like, bloody hell, he's our third all-time appearance holder. I actually don't know where he is in our appearance charts. So someone will have to let me know. What were moments of the weekend though, team? We had 2 days off.
Well, I watched the game, obviously. That was not a highlight. Other than that, just kind of a bit of a chilled one. Saw some family, starting to get a few bits sorted around the house. Nothing too exciting, but it was good, productive.
Nice. What about you, Chris?
I went and watched a game on Saturday, and then had training on Sunday. That's about it, to be honest. I didn't really do a lot else aside from that, except I went to a kid's birthday party, had a nice piece of cake. That was a bonus.
Cake is always good. I love cake. What was this classic Christmas? Classic birthday cake with plum jam? Some nice frosting? What was it?
Yeah, that's it. Normal best. Victoria sponge cake.
Oh, winner.
Bit of buttercream.
Oh, classic. Can't go wrong.
Bit of icing. Can't go wrong with that, can you?
Cannot go wrong. By the way, if you wondered, Cesar Aspilicueta is our 6th all-time appearance holder, above Petr Cech. I'm a bit surprised by that. Didn't think he'd be that high.
For injured though, was he?
That's the thing. That's something Romeo Lavia can dream of one day, being in our top 6 appearance holders. He could do it.
He won't be in our top 600 if you ain't careful.
No. Oh, we all know my moments of the week. MLS is back. Seattle Sounders, they had their 6th defeat in a row. That's irrelevant. It was Game of Galatzos, because we had Evander for Cincinnati against San Jose Earthquakes in a 4-2 win. We had Ezekiel Aladou, an insane winner for him to complete a 3-2 comeback after being 2-0 down. And finally, Brian Vera, who for Montreal in a 2-2 draw with New England Revolution. 3 goals, so good that I have a montage with the commentary lined up right now.
Evander going for it. What a strike. Oh, my goodness. An absolute laser beam from the unstoppable Evander.
For a draw right now, in by Wagner.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Ezekiel Aladou has won it for Philadelphia. Absolute scenes at Subaru Park.
He's going to go for it, and he hits it brilliantly! Oh, what a strike! That is some goal, and
some way to get CF Montreal back into this game.
It's just something special about the MLS commentary. You feel that even you didn't see those goals then, you felt them. You knew they were good goals. And I like the bell in Montreal. I like that bell.
That's
that
good.
dings.
That's good commentary, I think that.
They get bashed online going, oh, they enjoy it too much. I'm like, isn't that the whole point of football?
Yeah.
Is to go over, enjoy it.
How dare they enjoy a goal? Fucking twats.
There were some really, really good goals. They were really Ezekiel Alada. I'm still trying to work out if the commentator went, oh no, or was saying Alada. I don't know, because I think there was a bit of bias there.
You know what, though? Honestly, if I had more time on my hands and I could really get into following another league, I think I would choose the MLS.
It's the best.
It's like throwback football, and like
yeah,
there's no massive tactics. It's like just you have a shot, and we'll go and have one at the other end, and we'll just see who wins.
I'll tell you why. People always wonder why the MLS has such a high scoring rate. It's because you do not put investing in the money over there in like the big ticket players in defenders and keepers. No. Think of all the big players that have gone over to the MLS. Name me a top class defender. I know you could go Chiellini. Yeah, but there was more in that team than Chiellini in LAFC. It's big name attacking players. Gareth Bale, Antoine Griezmann, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, David Villa, Obafemi Martins, Clint Dempsey. They're attacking based players. And it is end to end because the defence is it's not the best. I don't know what the record is for the least conceded, but it's just fun to watch. I mean, I know we're, Seattle have, I think, they're nearly out the playoffs at the moment. Need to wake the hell up. But it's just so much fun. I always love it. I love the MLS. It's just a shame it's always on a little bit too late for me to watch most of the games. Like this week, this Sunday, they're all at 12:30 in the morning and 3:30. So again, I will not be watching any of them. No. Yeah. Shevva shoutouts. Before we dive into the news, Phoenix. I understand the Lavia frustration, but it sounds an awful lot like Chris blames him for it. Chris, do you blame Lavia for himself?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But no, because it's not his fault he's injured. That's that happens, and that's unfortunate, and we can all feel sorry for him. But at the same time, there has to get to a point where when you feel something in your hamstring, you just have to play.
Well, that's certainly one way to rip your hamstring into.
Yeah, but he probably won't, and that's the thing. Like, Jorginho played for months at the back end of the 2021 season with that horrendous bad back that he kept having injections in to play. Lavia's like, my hamstring feels a little bit tight. Now I'm going to have 2 weeks off if that's all right. No, it isn't. Just play and see. If it goes again, then fair enough. But he isn't even trying. It's like, he wakes up and goes, do I feel like playing today? Nope. And that's it.
Oh. Jay Stone, one of the biggest criticisms of Michael Jordan, mostly from the LeBron stands, is that he was a bully to his teammates. Crazy how that turned out. We need more winning mentality with this team. Love seeing it a little in this game. Obviously, that was in relation to our opening win against Western Sydney Wanderers. Yeah, I think, I don't know, have we all here watched the basketball documentary? And it's completely gone out of my head. I don't know what it's called, on Netflix with the Chicago Bulls. What the hell is that called? It's completely gone from my brain.
I have watched it. I have also forgot what it's called, though.
What the fuck?
I have not watched it.
I've completely forgot what. Typed in Chicago Bears documentary. That's not going to help me anything, is it?
That's not going to find it.
No. What was it called? Last Dance. There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
It was basically how I consumed anything during the pandemic. It was really nice. I look forward to watching that every week.
Really good documentary. Really
it's amazing. Honestly, recommending it to anyone, even if you dabble in sport. Well, of course you dabble because obviously you're listening to a football podcast here. Give it a go. It might check just to see how the mentality is there. And, you've got Jackson, you've got Scottie Pippen, you've got Michael Jordan, you've got Dennis Rodman. There's so many big iconic names in that. It's worth giving a go. Tempted, Tom? Tempted?
Yeah, no, I'm always looking for recommendations. Like it's, I watched the golf one. I love the golf one on Netflix. That was That's well worth watching as well. But I'll definitely give that a watch, and I'll let you know what I think.
Fair play. I haven't seen that. I've tried to watch all the. I tried to watch all like the little documentaries that are on there because some of them. I watched one recently, which was the Untold series, and it was about an equestrian attempted M word. Not just don't want to get censored. So yeah, attempted to unalive somebody, and it was absolutely fucking off the edge. It was insane, that story. I came away from that thinking this could be, I thought going in, it's going to be so boring because I'm not really into, equestrian. I'll partake. I tried to watch all the Untold, and I came away thinking that was the most unhinged documentary about two people I've ever. Honestly, I cannot recommend that episode enough to people. I will not spoil it. Just watch that and then come away and tell me what you think of the two people involved in it, because it is absolutely insane. So there you go. There's some viewing for you guys. Thank you. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say the golf one's called Full Swing. If you want to watch it,
I haven't seen that. I'll add it to my list.
It's good. It's good watch. It's good watch.
Fair play. Thank you for your reviews, your comments, support, everything you throw in those comments. We do appreciate them. And if you want yours potentially read out on the next show, head over to Spotify, drop it in the comments, and may get read out on the next one. So with that, let's hit some good old news. Monday, charcuterie board, and yeah, you know what? We got some boring little tidbits. Danny Welbeck's now official, Jordan Henderson's official, Trevor Chalobah's off to Como. We already knew most of this was going to happen. But my word, Friday, usually we're all winding down, aren't we, for the weekend? We're ready to clock out at 5 physically after we've clocked out at 12 mentally. Stamford Bridge went, nah, I don't think we're going to do that here this week. They confirmed at around lunchtime that we had been fined £10 million. That's just over $13 million, and given a suspended transfer ban following the investigation into our 74 alleged breaches of the English Football Association's regulations. The West London side were also initially hit with a suspended 6-point deduction by an independent regulatory commission, which handed out the punishments before it was overturned on appeal. As you can see by the way I said West London side, I copied and pasted that right from the article. I'm not surprised. Honestly, I'm not surprised by this. I think regardless of what rival fans might have you believe, I think the FA did find themselves in a very difficult position with deciding our punishment. Whether you think we committed fraud, whether you think we broke the rules, whether we exploited them, this isn't the point I'm trying to make. That's irrelevant. The point is we self-reported the issues. And I've said this throughout the whole time. If the FA had responded by handing out a severe sporting sanction, whether that's a points deduction, that transfer ban, or something similar, and I mean like not suspended, I mean an actual, that's the punishment, it would send a pretty dangerous message to every club in the country, in the sense of why would any club voluntarily come forward in the future if you're guaranteed the harshest possible punishment? Because without Chelsea self-reporting, I'm very confident in saying it's entirely possible these dealings and these naughty transactions would never have come to light. So the FA had a choice here. They had to strike a balance between punishing what's been done. It is wrong. We have to, whether we like it or not, it's considered against the rules. But they also have to encourage the transparency. I don't know what you made of it all.
Yeah, I agree. I think as soon as we self-reported it, they have to set a precedent for almost rewarding clubs for being honest. There is still obviously a sanction. We have still got a fine. I mean, it's 10 million. It's a drop in the ocean. It's like fining me £1. It's absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So, I think maybe it was a little bit too lenient, is what I would say. I think there's being lenient and then there's almost taking the piss. I think a £10 million fine is absolutely nothing, really. You might as well not bother fining us. And then the suspended transfer ban is like, well, if you break any more rules, we'll ban you. But will they? Because we won't self-report again. So if we break any more rules, we'll be hiding it, and it'll take you more than 2 years to find out. So
yeah, and by the way, it's only suspended until next June. So we've just got to behave for a literal year.
Yeah,
That's it.
So it's so stupid. It's something that's put in there to try and appease people, but it's actually nothing. I don't know. It's hard because what we did was, it's really hard to prove that we gained a sporting advantage from it. I know people have been saying, yeah, but you signed Eden Hazard because we was willing to pay the agent loads of money off the books. But Eden Hazard could have been a flop. It's easy to look back at it now and say we gained a sporting advantage because he turned out to be really good.
True.
But we signed Mudryk. I don't think anyone would have been saying, oh, you gained a sporting advantage there by nicking him off Arsenal. We haven't. We've gained nothing. So it's hard. It's really hard to prove sporting advantage. Like, I've seen some, especially Man United fans, moaning, saying, oh, he was going to come to Man United until Man United wouldn't pay his agent. You don't know that. That's all hearsay. You don't know he was going to go there. So again, it's something that's difficult to prove. For me, looking at it from a neutral's perspective, I think we've got away with it a little bit too leniently.
I think that's very fair. I would like to point out, when I read the Guardian's article on it, this is not shade. I'm just simply saying the deals that the three players that were particularly stood out were, and they've said this, deals involving Chelsea legends Samuel Eto'o, Eden Hazard, and Willian. And I thought, Samuel Eto'o isn't a Chelsea legend. He scored a fair few goals for us and a memorable goal as well. But I thought,
he was
Chelsea
good.
Legend, football legend, I would agree. Chelsea legend.
He's not even a cult hero, I wouldn't say.
He was here for one season. I wouldn't go that far. But Tom, what do you make of the outcome that we've been given?
Well, I think we've kind of got away with it, but it's because we have self-reported it. It is what it is. It's a difficult one because there doesn't seem to be a precedence that they have set, and it all seems to be a little bit random when we compare it to other clubs. With like the Evertons and the Nottingham Forests. And I think until they actually set a standard that people know exactly what it is and the different tiers of fines that there are, there's always going to be a bit of backlash from it. The fines, I think, are ridiculous because, you can't even buy a player for 10 million in the Premier League now. I know that money's going into like good things. From what I read, it's going into grassroots, which is great. That's good, great for the game. But really, we probably should have been fined more. Yeah, is my opinion.
In the written report, the appeal board did say that the finding by the regulatory commission found that the club did gain an actual sporting advantage was not supported by the evidence. So I think Chris is spot on. You can't guarantee. One player I think that stood out, and he had an agent that was very very well known. Paul Pogba's moved to Manchester United. Surefire thing that's going to absolutely take United up a level because it's Paul Pogba from Juventus. Wow, what a signing. I don't know if anything happened. I'm just simply using this as an example. If he got an agent payment, he turned out to be a flop. Just as Chris pointed out, every transfer, no transfer in the world of football is a sure thing. I don't care what the player is, who it is. Don't look at hindsight. Hindsight is beautiful, isn't it? But you've got to look at it in the moment. No signing is guaranteed. That's Morgan Rogers this summer. It's not a guarantee. Marco Palestra, it's not a guarantee. Esteval was not a guarantee. You have no idea. So to prove a sporting advantage, it's true. It's impossible. That we've accepted it. And from my perspective, we just got to move on. Unless you're the soccer subreddit, because they are absolutely losing their shit over Chelsea's sanction. And it's really worked. I move in the shadows on that particular sub, and it's just so enjoyable to look at. They just lose their absolute collective shit. Anyway, from that one major story on a Friday, we had a second. The Chelsea winger Mykhailo Mudryk is now eligible to return to competitive action with immediate effect after a resolution was reached between the World Anti-Doping Agency and the FA over an anti-doping violation. The FA and Chelsea confirmed in statements on Friday that the anti-doping disciplinary proceedings against Mudryk had been resolved. The statement read that the concentration of meldonium in his sample would not have been reported as a positive test today or resulted in a violation following WADA revisions. The FA cited this detail plus other circumstances of the case as to why a resolution to the appeal proceedings had been reached and Mudryk's ban lifted. Now, quote, changes have been made to the WADA technical document TD2027MRL, which, while not retroactive, mean that if Mr. Mudryk's sample was collected today, the concentration of meldonium in the sample would not have been reported and no ADRVs, anti-doping rule violations, would have resulted. That was the official statement, and I did react to this on Instagram, and I'm standing by what I said. I think the fact that the decision can't be applied retrospectively is, in my opinion, an absolute disgrace. Why can't it? Because this is I'm going really wild here, but rules and laws change all the time because society recognises that previous decisions were wrong or unfair. And you see it in other areas too. So I can't say it for the politics part. I've got to bring it into this. Parts of the US, people have received pardons for historic cannabis possession offences after the law changed. And if we can acknowledge past injustices elsewhere, why can't football do it? Because in this case, a footballer lost a significant portion of his career because of a rule that has since changed. And I find that incredibly difficult to accept. I also, on top of that, feel it's taken way too long to reach this result. I think it just highlights just how slow and flawed these processes can be. And WADA have to do better. And I'll continue to passionately argue that banning a player from training at the club or using its facilities while they're suspended or under investigation, because that's key as well, just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I remember Chris mentioning it as well. It doesn't affect the rest of the squad. It doesn't protect the integrity of a competition. He can't play. He's banned. So it just makes it harder for that individual player to return in the best possible condition if they're found innocent. And they're still under contract. They're still an employee of this football club. Why shouldn't they be allowed to use the facilities and continue training in that controlled environment? That's the one part of this whole system that has never sat right with me. And I feel the whole approach feels incredibly outdated. There's got to be a better way of handling. Absolute better. What do you make of it, Tom? You weren't on the shows in the previous ones when this obviously first was brought to our attention 18 months ago.
Well, firstly, I completely agree with everything you said. The process is flawed. The fact of that, a governing body in this area can take this long to come to a decision for it to get investigated with the amount of money that is in football is ridiculous. I also completely agree about what you're saying about them training. People won't like what I'm about to say, but I'll say it anyway. The mental kind of factor of it, of that, he can't go play football with his colleagues and his friends that he's built relationships with, and he's got to go and rent some little pitch somewhere with a personal trainer and not allowed to kind of be there for 2 years. And as soon as that rule got changed, his ban should have been lifted. It should have been like, well, he doesn't fit the criteria for that now. We've punished him for it, but we wouldn't punish him now. Really, he should be allowed to play. It's just ridiculous, and I'm very happy for him. And he seems really happy and smiley in that, and he's going out and joining them. It's just so flawed, the whole system, and it needs a big reshuffle, but happy for the player.
Chris?
Yeah, I echo that. I think, well, I said at the time, I don't understand the training thing, because it doesn't affect anybody. It doesn't affect anyone outside the club. So I have no idea how banning a player from training with his own team is protecting sporting integrity of who? They're not playing against anybody. They're playing against each other. We don't count goals in training, so there's no sporting integrity to mess about with. I find it really interesting in these cases that in normal society, for normal law breaks, we always use the innocent until proven guilty. But in sport doping, it's guilty until proven innocent, which I find bizarre.
Mate, again, this is a politics pod. You can look on social media. Anyone of anything in life accused of anything is instantly guilty until proven innocent. That's what it does feel like. Social media is such an echo chamber of shit at times.
Yeah.
And no one ever looked and went, oh, Mudryk's been accused. No, he's found guilty. Well, hang on a minute. Has he? Oh, no. But we're not going to think like that. Look, for Mudryk, I'm genuinely rooting for him because I'd love nothing more than to see him have a world-class season and an absolute comeback of the ages, because I think as well with this, he's had to deal with so much off the pitch. Obviously, this suspension, the uncertainty. Will he be a Chelsea player? Will he have his contract terminated? Will he end up like Adrian Mutu in courts? Everything as well that's happened in his home country with the war in Ukraine. There's an enormous amount for anyone to carry. And the one thing I really disagree with is this idea that he'll never reach the levels he showed at Shakhtar Donetsk. People are this is because of the ban, I'm saying, because people talk as though he spent the last 18 months sitting on the sofa eating crisps and dips. I mean, he hasn't, has he? He's been trained. He could have easily just gone, oh, fuck this. You know what? Go on.
What's really funny, though, is obviously he's going to take a while to get that match sharpness back, because you could do as much training as you like. But if you haven't played a game for 18 months, that's going to hit you like a slap in the face the first time he plays in a proper game. But this could just be the making of Mudryk. This might have given him that fire back to prove to people, no, you all forgot about me when I was banned. So now I'm going to show you what I can do. This could, if he uses it in the right way, it could be the fuel that really ignites his career.
100%. The thing is, he hasn't sat around for 18 months. He's been training. He's been working in the gym. He's been getting out on the pitch. He's been, key part here, investing his own money to keep himself in the best possible condition. That is absolutely an incredible mentality to have, because he could have easily just gone, oh, I can't be asked. I'll turn up when I can. No, he's kept on to it. That willingness to keep working, even when there is no immediate reward, that he could easily be possibly been in the courts fighting Chelsea for wages. And you never know, because we know how Mutu played out. That says a lot about Mudryk's character. Whether you're convinced he'll make it at Chelsea or not, it's irrelevant. I'll be rooting him every single step of the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think there's anything much more we can add, really, is there?
No.
But do you think he'll stay, or do you think he'll go on loan?
Loan. Got to go on loan.
I will keep my opinions till Quaresma's questions.
Okay.
But who knows? Who knows? I might change my mind over the course of the episode. Right. It's time to head to winners and losers, because I'm trying to work out which one I've recorded. I think it's this clip. We're going to find out in a second when I press it. So we'll head to winners and losers, because we took on Spurs in our second pre-season game.
Richie Gray went barrelling in for that. Look out, they've got men forward here. Donnelly, who can hit them, and he's nearly hit it in. It's a tapping for Richarlison, and he's onside. And his stoppage time out of absolutely nothing. It looks like Tottenham have nicked the win for the Sydney Super Cup.
Oh, the Sydney Super Cup. It's going to the other side of London. We're all devastated here as Chelsea 1, Spurs 2. Winners and losers. Who have you got? More importantly, as ever, how many have you got?
3 and 3 for me.
Same.
I got 3 and 4.
I thought you might. We had this chat in the Discord. I remember you were like, I have loads of losers. I was like, fair play. Look, I'm going to go with my first winner, because I've got the Marco Palestra and Esteval Ballet. Back-to-back games, I think, where Palestra and Esteval have linked up. It's absolutely brilliantly down that right-hand side. And it's like watching a perfectly choreographed ballet. It's majestic. It's elegant. It's beautiful. I'll tell you what, if you stuck Marco Palestra in a Brazil shirt, you would have sworn you were watching Carlos Alberto and Jorginho in their prime. It just works so well. It reminds me of when you meet someone for the first time and you just click. You just get it. It could be your best mate, your partner, or even someone you work with. You just know each other. The conversation's flowing. You bounce off each other. and you've got that connection, that absolute brilliantly forged connection. And these two look just like that on the pitch. They already seem to understand where the other is going to be before either of them have even thought about where they're going to be. And if that's what they're producing in the preseason, that right-hand side in 26-27, oh, it's going to be fun. And I'm all about fun.
Yeah, he's one of my winners as well. I'm just really enjoying watching him play. He put himself about a bit as well. And obviously Tottenham did put themselves about a little bit as well. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the runs he was making, the little one-touch play, and the fact of that he was keen to take on a man and to try and actually beat him is just so refreshing. And it's it's a very good start, and long may it continue.
Chris, did you make either make your list?
I've got both of them on my list
individually,
not together individually.
Okay,
but
tell me more.
Yeah, I do like the combination. I really like the look of Palestra. I think he's a really exciting fullback, wing back, whichever he plays. I think he'll be fine. Really brave. Like, he makes brave runs to open up defenses, which is something we have lacked it for a while. And he's really good on the ball as well, though. I think he's going to be one of them signings that maybe everyone wasn't overly excited about when we made it, and kind of went under the radar. Like, people spoke about it for like a day, like, oh yeah, we've signed him, let's move on. But he'll turn out to be one of them that we're talking about as a bargain in a few years' time. I think he started off really well. He seems to have just slotted straight in there. And then Esteval, good to get a goal. I think that's a side of his game that he needs to improve on this year. That I want to see him get more goals exactly like the one that he got. Just attacking the back post, getting into those areas for those tap-ins around the back post, like he did against Liverpool last season, and like he did in this game. Like, if he can just improve his numbers slightly, he's got everything else, and it's going to be another really exciting season to watch him. I'm hoping he stays fit for the whole season, and we can see him get a run of games, because I think Alonso will put a lot more trust in him than Maresca did, and I think he'll play. If he's fit, I think he's going to play.
Yeah. Anything to add on Esteban?
Just his recovery has obviously been fantastic
Come
back from a grade 4 kind of tear, and just he's just so fun to watch. You know, he makes football fun to watch, and it's I hope he just has a great season and keeps fit. And, you know, if we're going to do well, I think one of the reasons will be if he plays well.
Who was one of your second winners, Tom?
So he was actually a winner for me last time as well. Was Jamie Gittens. I just thought he was, again, he showed flashes of kind of brilliance. In particular, what I did like was I know it got deflected, but the assist for the Esteval goal, in that last year we were so used to wingers cutting back, not delivering the ball and just passing. But he, on quite a few occasions, was either beating the player and going to the byline and cutting it back, or cutting back and then instant delivery. And if you're a striker or a forward, that's what you want. You'd know, because you're committing to make your run. And last season, the amount of times that you see that they cut back and it would end back at the goalkeeper almost. It's just, I'm happy to see that he's improving.
Yeah, 100%. I still find it wild that he's come back from, because I really thought that there was some naughtiness going on. We weren't really being told the full picture, but he seems fit. He's running, he's playing, he's doing little flicks, tricks. I don't think you can fake that. No. I think if you're faking that, he deserves an Oscar every single year, because he looks legit fit, which is amazing for Chelsea, amazing for him. My word, I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, tell Lavia, because Lavia needs that. He needs that so bad. So my second winner it might only be pre-season, But my word, Jamie Gittens, my word, he is putting together one heck of a pre-season, isn't he? I actually thought he was underused in that second half as well, because he was given the ball and he was allowed to run at his fullback, and every time he did, something happened. He created chances. He beat his man. He looked dangerous. I really liked that. And that's back-to-back pre-season games where he's directly contributed to a goal. And he already looks like just a completely different player. And I don't think that it's a coincidence. Gittens himself said, well, last week now, that Xabi Alonso had been incredibly hands-on with him in training. And you can see that benefit already, because he also revealed that during the summer that we're having, he was training every single day in Portugal, in Marbella, and he was pushing himself as hard as possible to be ready for the new season. I absolutely love hearing that. You know, I'm genuinely excited to see what he can do down that left-hand side. And I'm going to say probably the biggest football cliche known to man. He genuinely feels like a new signing. If I honestly, Chris, if I could go back and re-record our players to watch episode, I'd squeeze him onto the list, because I've been really impressed. And that left-hand side is history of the taking. It really is.
Do you know what I really like? I like how he's playing at the moment. I like the fact that he looks confident, he looks fit, and I really respect the fact that he recognised that he didn't have a good season last year and he had injury problems. So he spent the summer. He hasn't wasted the summer. He's used it as time to get ahead of everyone else by training on his own. And I really respect that. I think that's fantastic. I think we have to be a little bit careful. I would just always warn people by saying the name Ross Barkley.
I knew the Ross Barkley effect. You're so right.
Ross Barkley in pre-season looks like Lampard.
He's insane, isn't he?
And then the season starts and he looks like Lampard's dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's happened? Where was the one who was in pre-season? He's like, I only like the summer, mate. He's doing it for Villa now. He scored for Villa the other day pre-season.
Yeah, he did.
He won't score a Premier League goal this year. Guaranteed. So all the signs with Gittens are good. But I think, again, it's pre-season. So just take everything you see at the moment with a little bit of a pinch of salt.
Yeah, you're not wrong. When I think that was... How many goals has he scored in pre-season overall? Because he scored 3, didn't he, back just before 2020? It was under Lampard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He had an insane pre-season. It was just like, I think he had like 3 goals, 3 assists, and you just thought, my word, what? We've got prime Ross, but wow. And then it petered out a little bit. So, yeah. Hopefully we see the gem, because obviously that left-hand side, it really is. It's all yours, mate. You know, if you can put the time and the effort into the Premier League, and brilliant. I'm gonna be very happy. Tom, who's your final winner?
It's not a person. It's I've got shape. Because throughout the game, it was what I really liked is that you could see the different shapes that Xabi Alonso was looking at using. Obviously, we're kind of setting up with a 4-2-3-1. But when we haven't got the ball, that goes into a 4-4-2 with Palmer going forward and supporting João Pedro. But when we're attacking, that comes into a natural 3 at the back. And then Palestra goes up the right wing and Esteval kind of comes in as like an inside forward. And it was nice to kind of see the shape and see what was meant to be happening after, only a couple of weeks. And with the games having different players at every kind of half. So yeah, just it's nice to see a bit of progress quickly.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. That's very fair. I have one winner left before I go to Chris. It's a nice little fun one. Duel of the Fates is a winner because of all the places I expected to hear that. Half time during Chelsea Spurs, a pre-season friendly in Sydney. I was not expecting that. I thought we'd get some talking, maybe a bit of adverts, sell me something. I got Darth Maul. I was so chuffed. It was just one of them. It pricked my ears up, and I thought, no, bloody hell. Oh, okay.
It used to be Tottenham's walkout music.
No way. Did it?
Yeah, White Hart Lane.
I didn't know that. I'm not a
I don't know whether
Spurs
they
fan,
still.
so I
I
don't
don't
pay
know whether they
attention.
still use it, but yeah,
Fuck.
Google it. They used to come out to that at White Hart Lane.
Damn, that makes them likable. No, no. Oh, Chris, help me out. Who's your third winner?
Dario Asugo.
Oh,
Nice.
Thought he was slightly worse than the Western Sydney game, but the standard of opponent is better. So there's always going to be a little bit of a trade-off there. But I still think he looked good. Looks fit, looks quite sharp, looks like a capable deputy for Caicedo. If we need to rest him at any point this year, I wouldn't worry about seeing his name on the team sheet. He's good on the ball. He's good at breaking up play. I think he looks a really strong player. I think again, people have got to remember he's only quite young. He didn't really have a first season with us because he got injured for all of it. He's coming over from Portugal. I think he could be another surprise one this year. Who by the end of the year we're talking about. Asugo had a really good year. He could be this season's Jarell Hato.
could be. And he's confirmed to be staying at Chelsea after Romano tweeted. That was just a few in the know accounts saying Liverpool are interested. I'm sure that all clubs in the top six are interested in players in other top six clubs. I'm pretty sure, if Rodri was interested in Chelsea, I'm pretty sure Chelsea would be interested in Rodri. I'm sure we'd be interested in Erling Haaland. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Let's not get too carried away. So we've had our gracious winners. So that means we, of course, get to go. There's always someone. Losers. The pitch. Straight up. Pitch. My word.
Yeah, awful.
Pitch was awful. Fair play.
I genuinely thought last summer's pre-season pitches were poor. They took that as a challenge. No disrespect, Australia. I really don't mean it. I really love our listeners from Australia. I love the country. It's gorgeous and very dangerous with spiders. But the pitch looked like it had lost a fight with a herd of wild boar, didn't it? I just don't understand. I don't understand how in 2026 we're still seeing football played on surfaces like this. You could see sections of where the turf had been laid. I know turf means something different in other countries, but we're on about like rolls of grass essentially. You could see players were a little bit slipping, not too much, but the ball weren't travelling properly, and it just looked like patchwork quilts than a football pitch. And honestly, I'd rather they just played in studs on wet tarmac. I really would. This isn't some tiny local ground either. This is the Stadium Australia. This is an 83,000 seat venue that hosts Australia's men's and women's national teams. It does host a lot of rugby league as well. But if you're going to stage football, the surface has to be up to scratch. It has to be. I know it's only pre-season, but standards should be standards. I don't care whether it's in Sydney, whether it's in Singapore, or it's even in Southend. The pitches have to be fit for purpose. We've seen too many times a player get stretchered off because of a bad pitch. We've got to do better. We have to do better.
Agreed.
Chris, give me a loser.
I can hear the comment section already.
Ooh.
And it's going to be, he's starting a new agenda. It's Enzo Fernandez all over again. But I think I proved with Enzo Fernandez, actually, that I just say what I see. It's never against one player unless that player happens to be consistently poor.
Oh, no.
And I think it's got to be Cole Palmer again.
Okay. Okay.
My disappointment with Cole Palmer is he had the summer off. He had a full rest. He's got a new manager. All of the other attacking players are playing with a freedom and that obviously Alonso is giving to the attacking players to go and play and be creative. He had no impact on this game whatsoever. I don't think we've seen a significant difference between Cole Palmer in this pre-season so far and the Cole Palmer we've seen at the end of the season when he wasn't fit and all of that. He's had the full summer off. I expected to see Palmer hit the ground running in pre-season and look like someone who wanted to prove a point left out of the England squad for the World Cup, wanting to come back in, a hunger, a desire, a freedom again. And I don't think we've seen that. I think in both the games so far, I think in the Western Sydney game, he was okay, but not like, wow. And in this game, I honestly think you would have forgot that he was there, which I actually think is worse than making mistakes. If he's getting on the ball a lot and he's making mistakes because he's trying to unlock defenses and he's giving the ball away, I can live with that because that's what you want those players to do. You know, you want them to try and play those difficult passes that are going to unlock the defense, but they're not going to come off all the time. And you can still see he's having an impact on the game. It's an even worse indictment of him if he's not having any impact on the game whatsoever. I've still got a real worry about Cole Palmer, that everyone just seems to want to believe that someone will wave a magic wand and we'll get Palmer back from 2 seasons ago. I just can't see it.
Well, William Gallas believes that one day that Palmer will join Manchester United because he's a big fan. I've just read that and I just thought, oh, William, please stop. That doesn't help any. To be fair, I say that he should like Chelsea. I'm not shocked. This guy did play for Spurs and Arsenal. So he's not going to be the most loyal. He's not loyal to any of us. Tom, who's your first loser?
This is going to be a controversial one because he didn't play. And this kind of stemmed from a bit of a chat that a few of us were having on the Discord. But my first loser is Mike Penders. And that is because he should be here to play these games. If you're a 21-year-old goalkeeper, I appreciate you've been at the World Cup. You didn't play a minute. You played no minutes at the World Cup. And if you know that, they must all chat, that Jorgensen's leaving, take your opportunity. Be there. Be there to train with the new manager if you've got anything about you. I've heard loads of other people who have, they've come back early from their holidays to be with their teams and to get back into training. But if you are meant to be this goalkeeper that is, going to be a superstar and, everyone really rates him and, he had a good season at Strasbourg and we've got Sharman Lowe playing for 2 games, there's something wrong. But that's my opinion. But it's... If he had a serious vision of him coming in and challenging, make sure you're there to challenge. So a little bit out there, but he is my first loser.
I'm curious.
I agree with that. The only thing I would say is I seen somewhere, and I didn't read the full thing, so I don't have all the facts. So I dare say someone will tell us. There was something about players who was at the World Cup. They have a mandatory holiday that they have.
They've got. I think it's like 3 weeks, but there's still a few of them that have come back to training early. They might not be able to play, but be there. Like it's
I'm with you there. Yeah, I agree. I'm completely with you.
And if I'm wrong, but please let me know. If it has to be like he is not allowed to be there, then I hold my hands up and he can't do anything about that. But on the face of it, that's my opinion of what I can see.
Interesting. Interestingly as well, I'm really curious where Sharman Lowe goes this season. I've got a feeling he's going to go out and loan to a championship club. And that's not an exclusive. Well, it is. That's an exclusive. I am very confident. And I'll tell you why I'm confident. Because I'm going to read you his loan spells. Now, I'm going to ignore 2020-21 when he was at Burton Albion. Just park that. So in 22-23, he goes to Haventon Waterlooville in the National League South. He then goes to the season after, he goes to Bromley, 23-24, National League. He then goes to Doncaster Rovers, League 2. That's League 2 in 24-25. Can you tell me what league he played in last season, guys?
League 1.
League 1 for Bolton. So that means that this season he could get his first taste of Championship football. And, he won League 2 title. He won a Euro under-21s with England. Why not? Why not? And, right, my second loser was the winning goal.
That's one of my losers.
Has to be Tom.
How bad was it?
Well,
shocking.
Pre-season, mid-season, apple bobbing season. I don't care what time of the year it is. I cannot stand a lack of effort. And I've got the guilty parties right in front of me. And that is even worse than I have the guilty parties. So, The court in session. I've got Tosin, I've got Aaron Anselmino, I've got Mamadou Sarr, and I've got Joshua Champong. Because when Jamie Donnelly picks the ball up and he drives it forward, the biggest frustration for me is Aaron Anselmino's decision making in that moment. Because he has every opportunity to step in and make the challenge. He does. He doesn't. He stops. He instead, what was worse is he backed off. He hesitated. Then he went, I'm going to recover. I'm going to make the tackle. And then the shot comes back off the post. Richarlison hasn't even tapped it in yet. And Anselmino has got his head in his hands. And I just thought, you could have avoided that if you'd have made the tackle in the first place. On one hand, yes, it's only pre-season. I've got to wake up. I'm not going to, let's be serious. But on the other, a lack of intensity and commitment from all of them four. That concerned me a bit because I'm not going to go overboard. I'm really not. I've got to be really. This was not a Premier League fixture. This was not the League Cup. This was a pre-season game. You've got to be careful. But Aaron, you're on the naughty step for now. Tosin, I've seen enough. I've seen enough for the last two seasons. I don't need to know anymore. For me, I don't care if he's Palmer's best friend or not. Chelsea is not an after-school club. If you want to hang out with your friends, go down to the pub, play some Xbox together around his house. It's time to sell Tosin and move on.
Oh, definitely.
He's not Chelsea quality. He's not Chelsea level. Pre-season, mid-season, it doesn't matter. He's not Chelsea level. This isn't news to anyone. What I'm saying is not new.
Another poor one from Josh as well, though. I just don't see it. I really don't see it with him. I think he's stagnated. I think he's been here too long not playing. I think he really needed a loan. I think he should have gone out on loan last year, especially when we got to January and we recalled Sarr. I just think then, well, loan Josh out, get him some football. He's got to go on loan because at the moment he'll be nowhere near our team. He'll be lucky to kick a ball in the League Cup.
You're not wrong. It is a yeah. You're not wrong. It's interesting, isn't it?
It's the concentration and the lack of reaction. It's just unforgivable even in the 92nd minute. No matter how many changes there've been, forget all of that. They're all watching.
Yeah, it's basic.
It's basic, and I'm not particularly enamoured with the goalkeeping.
I agree.
It was a bit of a dive for the cameras, and then he could not get up any slower. It's it's Tottenham, and it's just annoying. But yeah, that's that goal to lose. To lose to that goal is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah. Also, very quickly, Chelsea have just confirmed that Genesis Antwi has completed a season-long loan move to Ligue 1 side Strasbourg. So that's one of the 3 slots been taken up at Strasbourg. So who's going to be the other two? I'm a bit surprised, actually.
Yeah, that's come from out of nowhere, really, because I wouldn't have earmarked him for a loan to Strasbourg, but I think he could go and do well over there. He's another one.
They're struggling, apparently. Chelsea and Strasbourg were apparently struggling today with talks over Philip Jorgensen. I just thought that's never a good sign because we are one and the same club.
How can you not sell to yourself? How bad must you be that they can't sell them to themselves?
Probably. So, Philip, we're going to have you on the books. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Do you want to play for us? Absolutely not. Oh, please? No. Well, you're not going to play at Chelsea? Don't care. Oh. Tom, give me another loser.
I have got finishing as a loser. Kinski had a very good game, don't get me wrong, made some fantastic saves.
He was Neuer. Come on, it was a prime Neuer again.
And fair play to him, because I actually spoke about him on either last pod or one of them before, in that, he's done really well to get back into it after his disaster class against Atletico Madrid. But there's a few of those chances I think we should be doing better on. I think Esteval should have done better on his. I just think we should have had that game dead and buried, especially against 10 men. And that is a concern to me. I appreciate it's pre-season, doesn't mean anything. Minutes in the tank, that's all good. But you've got to be banging in the goals. You've got to be, yeah.
I always think with this, we seem to talk a lot about goalkeepers having absolute blinders against us. It seems like everyone we play, we go, oh, their keeper had a really good game. At what point do you think, actually, did he have a good game, or did we make him look like he had a good game because we can't finish?
Oh, it's a bit of both, isn't it? It's the classic cliche.
Yeah, I honestly think it is, because sometimes I do think, yeah, the keeper's pulled off a good save, but he shouldn't have been allowed to make a save in that situation. There was one last year. It wasn't us. I think it was Villa. Was it? It might have been last year. It might have been the year before. The David Raya save from the Ollie Watkins header. I think McGinn had a shot. Raya parries it out straight to Watkins. He heads it. Raya gets up and palms it away. If Watkins puts that in the corner, we don't save it. It's a poor header because he put it straight down the middle. So he's made the keeper look like he had a blinder, because it was a shit finish. And I think we do that a lot. I think we have terrible finishes when we shouldn't be giving the keeper a chance.
Who's your second loser, Chris?
Second loser for me is social media reaction.
Oh, no. Oh, Chris, we have the same loser. I'm so happy.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, honestly, how hard is it to watch a pre-season game when we win and go, yeah, we won, but it's pre-season.
Yeah.
And then when we lose, you go, oh, we lost, but it's pre-season. Like, why are anyone reading anything into these games? I mean, I'm seeing all of this stuff online about, oh, Maresca's football looked better than this. Oh, did he have the under-21s playing? No, I didn't think he did. Like, what's the point? Half of the players that play in these pre-season games will not touch a ball in the Premier League for us, so don't worry about it. Honestly, it's like, fucking hell. Just calm down. If we win, fine. If we lose, fine. If we draw, fine. I honestly couldn't give a fucking shit. It's pre-season. No one cares.
Chris, you're right. You are right. Yes, Chelsea lost to Spurs. Yes, Spurs played the second half with 10 men. The thing is, though, we need to have a little bit of perspective here. That's one of my biggest frustrations with social media, is that every single moment has to become a crisis. Every single time. There's never a middle ground. Everything's either the greatest thing it's ever been or the end of the world. Spurs score first. Chelsea are finished. It's what are we doing? What are we fucking doing? Esteval's equalised now. Oh my God, we are going to look at that beautiful movement. We're going to win the league. Spurs score a 90th minute winner. Well, I think everyone's got to be sacked. What are we doing? And then, you know what? I've got to say as well, fair play to Spurs, by the way. They've celebrated that winner like they've just lifted the Champions League.
Oh, don't even.
Based on recent history, they might want to enjoy that because it could be the only time they beat Chelsea this season. So enjoy your moment. But for the Chelsea fans that lost their minds over this game, come on, it is a pre-season friendly.
After this
not
game,
a real game.
It's not a real game.
It's not a real game.
After this game, I genuinely saw someone on social media doing like a predicted Premier League table for the season. And when they got to Chelsea, they said before the Spurs game, I would have put them in second, but now I'm going to put them in sixth.
Oh, fuck off.
How is there that much of a drop off because we lost a game in pre-season? Like, it means nothing. If you thought we was going to finish second before the game, then you should think we're going to finish second after the game because the game's meaningless.
Look. The result of pre-season games is never the priority. It should never be the priority. The performance, the fitness levels, the tactical ideas, how players are adapting to a new manager. In the case for us, it is a new manager. That's what matters. And yet, judging by social media, if you just judge that game, you didn't watch it. Let's just do a cheat sheet. You didn't watch the game. You've judged it by social media. You would think Xabi Alonso's got no tactical identity. He's got no idea what's going on. The squad selection, my word, what a disaster that was, everyone. And the formation, I've never seen something so catastrophic. The substitutions, did you see the substitutions? They were awful. The mentality of the play was weakness. Honestly, Xabi Alonso, I think he'll be lucky if he's not sacked by the end of August. That is 5 minutes I found of reading replies on X and Twitter, whatever. Listeners, I've said it before. don't mistake a parrot for a prophet. A lot of these accounts are not trying to provide analysis. They're not trying to help. They're trying to generate engagement. They're trying to provoke reactions and farm outrage. And of course, there are things Chelsea can improve on. There are always lessons to take from pre-season games. That's what pre-season's for. However, for anyone who found themselves spiraling after this result, I just want to say one thing. It's pre-season. It's going to be okay. Tom, who's your third loser?
Oh, so sorry. This is my fourth and final loser. Sorry, because I had the winning goal. We went through that. I've had finishing. I had Penders. My last loser, is Conor Gallagher. He's not our player.
He was a bit of a prick. He was a bit of a shithouse. He was, wasn't he? I didn't see that coming.
Flying into tackles and celebrating their goal like they won the Champions League.
Wow.
Fucking hell, mate! Come on, get a grip.
I was shocked by that.
Oh, honestly, that foul that he got the yellow card for was the most ridiculous, one of the most ridiculous tackles I've seen in a preseason game. It's just, and I know he's got a point to prove and all of that, but if he actually injured that player and they're out for the season, that could, the thing is, he's not going to get any ban for it. Nothing's going to kind of happen because it's pre-season. I thought better of him, and he disappointed me, and I can't wait to play them again and a competitive game.
It's crazy how we paid for a banner for you, mate, and look what you've done. Oh, Chris, who's your final loser?
I've got style. I think we've played two different games so far in terms of the Western Sydney game. We looked very direct, vertical, quick counter-attack, get the ball forward, create a lot of chances, score a lot of goals. And then this game, it was back to the slow, laboured pass around for the sake of passing the ball. And then, ironically, the only time in the game we didn't do that, we scored. But then the rest of the game, we didn't do it again. It was, again, very centre-backs taking 15 touches of the ball to then pass it 5 yards. Centre-mids never switching the play, just bouncing it back to the centre-backs, out to the full-back, back into the centre-back, go out the other way. Gonna get the forwards on the ball? No, not really. It's hard because I've said this before. I don't think we've had a manager come in and instantly change the style of how we play since Maurizio Sarri came in. I think he was the only Chelsea manager in decades who has come in and instantly changed the way that we play. And the minute you looked at us, you thought, this looks so different to what we was doing before. The issue I've got is if we fall into this trap again of being a possession-based team who want to look after the ball, we'll fail again because our squad isn't set up for that. So we've had too many managers come in and do that and fail that I can't believe Alonso's going to be that naive to think that's the way to go. We've built a squad for more vertical, fast-paced football. So that's what you have to play. And yes, you give up a bit of control on the game. And something you might have to accept. But I think the mistake that we've made as a club over the past few years is we're trying to catch Man City. Man City are the benchmark of the Premier League. I know Arsenal won the league last year, but let's face it, they're a terrible football team. No one's a benchmark to Arsenal because they're shit. So Man City have been the benchmark of the Premier League for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You don't beat Man City by trying to out-Man City Man City. If you look at it, the teams that have stopped Man City from winning the league have played a completely different brand of football to Man City. Yeah. Arsenal last year did Tony Pulis Stoke. So they won the league doing that. The only other team to stop them is Liverpool, with Jurgen Klopp, who played high press, high intensity, vertical, fast counter-attack football. And then Arne Slot did the same because, let's face it, he just rode the coattails of Jurgen Klopp for a year and then was absolutely shit. So the year that he won the league, they played the same way. No one has beat this Man City team trying to play the same way because they're the masters at it. So I hope that we don't fall into that trap. I was really excited when Alonso came in because I thought we'd play the back three wing back system. And I know we're sort of doing it in possession. It's switching to a back three, and then out of possession, it's switching to something else. But again, we've seen that. We've seen that over the last 2 years. Poch started doing that when he started inverting Cucurella into midfield. We started doing the whole in possession, out of possession thing. That doesn't work either. Just stop overcomplicating it. Pick a formation, pick a way of playing, and just go and do that. But this squad is not built for possession-based football, and it never will be. So I really hope we don't fall into that trap again of we want to keep the ball, because when we didn't do that against Western Sydney, we looked I know Western Sydney are a much worse team than Tottenham, but we looked better and we was more entertaining to watch than this game. This Tottenham game was like watching us under Maresca last season. There was no difference. Too many touches, too many knocking it around, not enough forward passes, not enough creativity. I think we just have to guard against that. And I think Alonso, once the first team come back and he can start playing, the more first team regulars in the sort of latter stages of pre-season and the early stages of the season, I want to see a discernible change in style and him really putting his blueprint on the team.
Yeah. Emojis. I went with the laptop emoji because I am not going to be on a social media whilst the game's actively in progress anymore. I teased myself and thought I'll have a keep an eye on it, and I just thought, oh, everyone's so fucking negative. There's no other. I'm not saying it was you, listener. I'm not. You're better than that. But fuck me, the negativity it spoilt the game. It really did, because I just thought, I don't see this. I'm not seeing that. But according to the social cesspit that is Twitter, worst game ever. Worst game ever. What have you got for an emoji, Tom?
Just off of that, really, the rolling of the eyes, just just due to the overreaction. Take the positives where you can. If we're 5 games into the season and we're playing like that, then we can have a chat. But at the moment, we need to trim down the squad, find out what the starting 11 is, and then we can start making judgments. For now, a lot of it is advertising young players for their loans, getting minutes for the players who didn't play in the World Cup, getting up to fitness, and making money. So once we actually start in the Premier League, we can start being a little bit more, not overreact, because we'll give him 10 games, see how it's kind of going. But that's when we can start actually pulling some punches and kind of digging into it a little bit more.
You must have missed the memo for modern day football. You don't get 10 games anymore. You get 45 minutes. One half.
10 minutes.
What have you got, Chris?
I'm bringing back the classic, the shrug, because
I love a shrug. Right. Quaresma's questions. I teased it. Tomato picks. They asked, should Mykhailo Mudryk go on loan? What would be a good destination if he does? There is rumours of Strasbourg. Just want to point that out there. I think if Mudryk wasn't going to stay at Chelsea ahead of the season, I think priority has to be finding a move that helps him rebuild key areas of his game, mainly, what he's missed out on over the last 18 months. So his rhythm, that's important. Week in, week out games. Confidence, that's going to be important. Decision making, and just proving that he can handle competitive football. I took some time to think of a club. I would seriously consider Borussia Dortmund. I think they have
Do you know what? As you was talking, I was sat here thinking, when he asks me, where do you think he should go? I'm going to say Dortmund.
I'll tell you why, Chris, because they've got a track record of helping talented attacking players rediscover themselves. Because look at what they did to Jadon Sancho, pre-Man United and post-Man United. He arrived such an unproven player, and then he was Europe's most exciting young attacking players. And then he earned the big move, struggled. He returned to Dortmund. Glimpses of the player we knew came back. He got a spell at Chelsea. And they did help develop Jamie Gittens, who's now at Chelsea. And I think that speaks of the environment that Dortmund can create. And I think for Mudryk, he actually does fit stylistically, because I do think of the fan base, that's important. Dortmund's incredibly passionate. They embrace talented players. They give them confidence. Look how they treated Marco Reus was a legend there, and he was injury prone as well. You know, he didn't get, but he was loved, adored, and I think the atmosphere can bring out the best in a player. And I think with the Bundesliga, it could suit Mudryk's strength because there's more space in the transition of the game. That allows him to use his biggest weapon, his pace, and he could attack defenders in open areas. And look, if he went there and he made, I don't know, 50 to 20 appearances with 7 or 8, say, of those being actual starts, it doesn't have to all be in the Bundesliga, it can be in the Cups. I think that could be a good first step. The aim isn't really, I don't want him to, he's not going to become a superstar in one season. He could, but it's unlikely. I think rebuild the confidence, rebuild him, get him to the high level again. And someone's going to say Premier League minutes, we've seen the Bundesliga con us. I'd be cautious because where's he going to go? Who's going to actually risk? I mean, you could say Palace, you could say Bournemouth, because they could offer regular minutes. They have coaches who could get a lot out of them. Pierre Sarge at Palace, that's an option. Marco Rosa at Bournemouth could be quite intriguing. I just don't want to take the risk in the Premier League. I don't think the risk's too much. I think for me, I think Dortmund makes the most sense. Get him out this Premier League spotlight. Get the platform to remind everyone why we invested so heavily in the first place.
Yeah, it's just about building him back up in terms of fitness, sharpness, playing in matches, and getting his own confidence back. I don't think it matters where he goes as long as he plays. I wouldn't be against him going back to Shakhtar.
Yes, that'd be intriguing. I think,
I don't really care where he goes, but he's got to go somewhere where he starts.
Yes,
games.
Because that's the thing. I will say that if we do go down the avenue of a loan, we can't just list him and just expect clubs to naturally jump at this opportunity. There's rumours that clubs are all over it. You have to sell the project of Mudryk. Otherwise, you're just begging with a blank sign. Because no serious club is... I don't see a Premier League club taking on that responsibility. What's the reward for me?
Exactly.
What's the reward? Strasbourg is realistic because we do control them to a point.
Yeah.
I know the fans are not going to like that, but that's kind of, the reality. I don't agree with it, but it's the reality. That could make sense. If it's outside of Strasbourg's bubble, like I said, we'll be begging with a blank sign because what's the benefit for that club?
So
what do you think, Tom?
So it's, you guys have spoken so much sense. I'm second guessing myself. Because
That's nice for us.
which is great for you guys. Because I saw him linked with Coventry, and I was like, well, Frank's there. He'd be a good manager for him. They're probably going to play counter-attacking football. It's in the Premier League. I thought that might be good.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that, actually, now you've said it.
So that was my first kind of go-to, more because of Frank rather than anything else, because I know that he is good with players and he's well respected. And Mudryk does strike me as a player who does need a bit of an arm around him. And, it would be Premier League, minutes. The likelihood is he's going to play a lot of games. And he's going to be testing himself against, the opposition that he would be looking at playing against. And if anything, if he's playing in a counter-attacking team, great, because that can use his pace. And not that this is what you want from him, but he will naturally have to improve his defensive output because they are going to be under the cosh for a lot of it. And, we can remember some games where he was caught out previously, not supporting the left back. But, Dortmund makes sense. Again, it's the football in the Bundesliga. As long as he's getting the minutes, that's what matters. I like the idea of him training under Frank, as I've kind of said previously. But as long as he has a season where he's getting regular playing time, he can get match sharpness back up, because he's going to be fit, because all he's been able to do is kind of, train for 2 years. So he's going to have a good level of fitness, but it's that match sharpness that he's going to have to work on for this next season. And he's not going to get that with us. He's not going to be consistently playing every game. And I'd much rather see him playing every week for another club.
We did have one. I should have put it in the main winners and losers. Mikkel Herringso said, is Gittens just the Ross Barkley of pre-season? Or is he going to be good this season? And I was like, yeah, I could say we have no idea. What we do know is we'll end with a game. Of course, it's rotating on Monday. We had Steve Sidwell last week. Now we're getting guess the player by their career path. Today's theme, it's bizarre career paths, because every player today is considered to have what a bizarre career. Just a bizarre career. So I will kick off with these are well-known players. They're no one, you're not going to come into this and go, I've never heard of that player. So first player, chime in when you think you know who it is. They started their career at the New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls, before getting a nice big move to La Liga, where they join Villarreal. They go on loan to Jerez. Didn't really work out. They returned in the same season and went on loan to Hull City. Hull City on loan. Before concluding their lovely spell at La Liga by going on loan to Bursaspor. So New York Red Bulls, Villarreal, Jerez, Hull City, Bursaspor, all those three on loan. They've left Villarreal. They have head to the Netherlands to play for AZ Alkmaar. And then they fancy England again. They've come. They're back. They're playing for Sunderland. Sunderland.
Okay, I think I know it.
Go on, Tom.
Is he American?
He is indeed.
Is it Josie Altidore?
Oh, spot on. Where he then moves to Toronto FC, the New England Revolution, and goes on loan to Puebla.
I was waiting for the Toronto one.
Yeah, that good old swap deal, which benefited Sunderland and Toronto, to be fair, with Defoe. Right, this next one's brilliant. I'm so excited for this. So, this player started his career at Manchester United. Manchester United. Now, get ready, because that's going to be the one club you know. They then move. They then move to the Jewish Guild. Then they go to Dunst. Jewish Guild. This is the team. They then go to
Sunday League team.
I have no idea. I don't know. They then go to Dunstable Town. They then move to Stockport County. They then go to Cork Celtic. They then go to the LA Aztecs. These are all permanents. They then come back to the UK and play for Fulham before going back to the LA Aztecs. Then it's time to the Fort Lauderdale Strikers before coming back to the UK, but going north, Scotland, Hibernian. They're now at. They miss America. They're back over San Jose Earthquakes. They then join a team called the CB before going to Hong Kong Rangers. They come back to the UK to play for AFC Bournemouth. They then join Brisbane Lions and finish their career at Tobermory United. Could be Tobermory United, but I think it's Tobermory.
You know,
United.
it's so annoying because I think I can see him, but I can't remember what his name is.
He spent 11 years at Manchester United before then just having just a party, which is interesting I say that word.
Wait. Okay, so I assumed that he was at United as a kid and then left and then had this mad career. So he played for United for 11 years.
11 years.
And then he went to all of those different clubs.
He's a top-class player. When he played,
I assumed that too. I assumed that he left as a kid. It's definitely not who I was thinking of.
Oh, wow. According to this, the Jewish Guild is a social and sporting club in suburban Johannesburg, South Africa. That's intriguing. Wow.
Am I cheeky in asking for like a date? Like, when was this player playing?
He joined Man United in 1963.
Right. Okay. I'm in a wrong era.
It is not a player that you'll go, never heard of them. I honestly,
is it George Best?
It's George Best. It is George Best. One of the most surreal career paths. What a player!
Mad. That's
no
mental.
wonder he's only known for his time at Man United, because no one's ever heard of any of the other teams he played for.
It's just
mental.
Wow. My word, I can't tell you what a joy he was to watch. I was too young, But also, I've got to bring it up, haven't I? When you think of George Best, you think of...
That scallop came off that little plate that had George Best stain on it because it hadn't seen any alcohol, it did. Anyway, we had a great time. He was such a lovely guy.
Everybody remembers how he used to drop a shoulder and stick it in from any angle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great footballer as well.
Oh, Chris Kamara is just such a legend. I love him. I love Chris. He's great. Oh, right. We'll round it off with our third and final player who started their career at Pau de Sucre. I've been practicing these pronunciations. Pau de Sucre. He then goes on loan to Vilnius. He then joins LKS Rouch on loan before joining Bragantino on loan. He's left Pau de Sucre and he's gone to Coimbra before going on loan to Corinthians. 2 years he was at Corinthians on loan, 114 appearances. There's a little clue. He then makes it permanent for a season. Before, he's only there for a season permanently, and then Spurs come calling. So Spurs have now signed this particular player. He's at Spurs for 2 seasons. And then he's gone to Guangzhou Evergrande. Guangzhou Evergrande. 2 seasons again. Before he spends 2 more seasons at Barcelona.
Oh,
but of course,
I might be wrong, but a player that I can remember that went from Spurs to over kind of Asia way was it Paulinho?
Oh, spot on, because he goes back to Guangzhou Evergrande on loan before joining them permanently, then to Al Ahly, and then finish his career up at Corinthians.
Well done, Tom. I thought it was a Spurs defensive midfielder, but I kept thinking about was it Santos they had at the around about the same time?
Sandro.
Yes, Sandro.
Yes, that was it. Sandro.
He went to QPR. I want to say, no, he didn't go to Watford. No. He went to, oh, fuck me, what a career. So for Sandro, Internacional, Spurs, QPR, West Brom on loan, no memory of this, Antalyaspor, Benevento on loan, Genoa, Udinese on loan, Goiás, BSAD, and then guess where he ends his career?
Oh, God.
Harbour Town. What?
Wow.
He went non-league. Okay, Harbour Town currently have Britta Sombalonga playing for them. My word, what a throwback.
Yeah, I thought it might be him or Wilson Palacios.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Palacios. Oh, man, what a player. Oh, what a joy. Oh, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, before we go, we're proudly partnered with Head in the Game, a mental health charity using football to support wellbeing and community. You can find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. Check in with each other. Check in with your friends, family. Like I say, it's all about teamwork. It's all about teamwork. Intriguingly, we will be back on Thursday with winners and losers from a 12:30 UK time kickoff on Wednesday. Chelsea and Juventus. I believe this one's in Hong Kong, is it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Hong Kong, yeah.
I've just typed it. Yes, it is. It's in Hong Kong. I hope the pitch is better. I have no idea. I just really hope it is. So until then, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.